the morning.
Welcome back to our channel, guys. Today is Tuesday, a beautiful day to dive into the absolute madness happening in Genoa City. We have so much to unpack today, and honestly, the drama is just off the charts right now. Grab a coffee or whatever you need, because we are getting right into the thick of it, and it is a wild ride. And let's just jump right into it. The Abbott family is in absolute shambles right now. I mean, absolute shambles. Just a few episodes ago, we had Patty Williams acting like a feral animal, stabbing Jack Abbott, and then injecting Diane Jenkins with a lethal syringe. A lethal syringe. What were the writers thinking? It was pure horror movie stuff. And now Patty is sitting in a jail cell facing life in prison, which she completely deserves. Let's be real, she deserves it. But the fallout from her crazy actions is it's a massive mess. Jack is awake but he's delirious, whispering crazy things from his hospital bed. Diane is in legal trouble again because the GCPD, specifically Detective Burrow and Christine, are just completely incompetent. They are so incompetent. They are trying to pin obstruction of justice on Diane. Diane, the woman who almost died. It makes no sense. So, enter Carl Abbott. Carl is frantic. He is panicking. His mother is facing serious prison time for a crime she didn't commit. His father is lying in a hospital bed recovering from a horrific stab wound, and his family is being targeted from all sides. And Carl knows exactly who is to blame for all of this. Victor Newman. Victor is the puppet master. Victor is the one who brought Patty back to Genoa City. Victor is the one who funded her little reign of terror. Victor is the reason Carl almost became an orphan last week. And Carl is furious. I mean, we've seen Carl angry before, but this is a different level of rage. This is a cold, calculating, ruthless Abbott rage. He is done playing nice. He is done letting Victor get away with murder. But how do you take down a giant like Victor Newman? You need a weapon that Victor himself created. And that weapon is Patty Williams. So Carl does the unthinkable. He goes to visit Patty in her cold, miserable jail cell. And honestly, this scene was just chilling. Just chilling. You have Patty, sitting there, furious and bitter that her plan to kill Jack and poison Diane failed. She is fuming. She hates Carl. She hates Diane. She is completely unhinged. And then you have Carl, walking in there in his expensive suit, looking at her like she's a bug on the bottom of his shoe. The contrast was just amazing. The actors did such a good job. I might be giving them too much credit. Maybe I'm being too harsh on the writers sometimes, but this scene was gold. Carl starts off the conversation by expressing his deep disappointment. He's looking at Patty, telling her how pathetic she is, how her grand master plan completely blew up in her face. Jack and Diane are reunited. They are happy, and Patty is rotting in a cell. He is twisting the knife. He is twisting the knife and Patty is just glaring at him with pure hatred. But then Carl pivots. And this is where the episode just grabbed me and wouldn't let go. Carl isn't just there to gloat. He's not just there to rub it in her face. He is there to make a deal. A deal with the devil. Carl looks at Patty and offers her something she desperately needs, a lifeline. He tells her that he can help her. He can get her better living conditions in prison, or maybe even a reduced sentence. A reduced sentence for attempted murder? I mean, how does Carl even have the power to promise that? He's not a judge, he's not the doe, but he is an Abbott, and the Abbotts have money. They have power. They have Michael Baldwin on speed dial, so maybe he can actually pull strings. It's a soap opera. You guys, we just have to roll with the legal loopholes. We just have to roll with it. But the offer is on the table. Carl will use his family's vast resources to help Patty avoid the harshest punishment. But of course, there is a catch. There is always a catch. And the catch is a big one. Carl wants Victor Newman's head on a silver platter. He demands that Patty spill every single deep, dark secret she knows about Victor. And not just the recent stuff. Not just the fact that Victor brought her back to Genoa City to terrorize Jack. No, Carl wants the historical dirt. He wants the past manipulations, the hidden financial trails, the blackmail, the lies, everything Victor has ever done to use Patty as a pawn. Carl wants to completely and utterly destroy Victor's reputation and his empire. He wants to burn Newman Enterprises to the ground. And honestly, I am here for it. I am so here for it. Victor has been getting away with this stuff for decades. Decades. He uses vulnerable people. He manipulates them. He throws them away when he's done with them. He did it to Patty on that yacht years ago. He did it again now. Someone needs to hold him accountable. And if Kyle is the one to do it, then I am rooting for him. Go Kyle. Take him down, okay? That sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Victor needs a taste of his own medicine. So, how does Patty react to this bombshell offer? She hesitates. Of course she hesitates. She is a paranoid, delusional woman. Why on earth would she trust Kyle Abbott? Kyle is Diane's son. Diane is Patty's ultimate enemy. Patty literally just tried to inject Diane with a lethal syringe, so trusting Kyle goes against every instinct in her shattered brain. She looks at him with this wild, suspicious look in her eyes. She doubts his motives. She wonders if this is just another trick, another trap. But, she also hates Victor. Let's not forget that. Victor used her. Victor promised her things and then left her to take the fall. Victor treated her like a disposable tool. And Patty, in her twisted mind, feels betrayed by that. So she starts to consider it. You can literally see the wheels turning in her head. She is weighing her options. Life in a maximum security prison with no hope, no comfort, just a cold cell. Or a chance at a better setup. A chance to maybe, just maybe, see the outside world again someday. And all she has to do is hand over the man who treated her like garbage. Kyle sees her hesitating. He sees the crack in her armor. So he pushes harder. He leans in. He emphasizes that this isn't just about helping her. It's about destroying Victor. He tells her that the information she has will ruin the Newman Empire. It will humiliate Victor publicly. It will strip him of his power. And you know what? That appeals to Patty. Patty loves chaos. She loves destruction. The idea of taking down the great Victor Newman, that is a very, very tempting offer. And then, Patty does something brilliant. She gives Kyle a little taste, just a tiny little breadcrumb. She starts to drop a few initial clues about why Victor really brought her back to Genoa City. She hints at the funding. She hints at the secret meetings. She doesn't give him the whole puzzle. Just a couple of pieces. Just enough to prove to Kyle that she actually has the goods. That she can deliver on her end of the bargain. It's a psychological game of cat and mouse. Who is manipulating who here? Is Kyle playing Patty? Or is Patty playing Kyle? Honestly, I change my mind every 5 minutes. Maybe Patty is just stringing him along. Or maybe I'm giving her too much credit and she's just desperate. I don't know. Honestly don't know. But the suspense is killing me. It is absolutely killing me. Because just when Kyle thinks he has her, just when he thinks she's going to sing like a canary and give him everything he needs to destroy Victor, Patty stops. She pulls back. She looks at Kyle and says she needs time to think. Time to think? Are you kidding me, Patty? You are sitting in a jail cell facing life. What is there to think about? But she wants to weigh her options. She wants to balance her desire for revenge against Diane and Jack with her own desperate need for freedom. It's a classic soap opera cliffhanger. Let's take a step back and look at the whole Abbott family dynamic right now. Jack is lying in that hospital bed, and it breaks my heart. I mean, Peter Bergman is acting his heart out. Jack is delirious. He's weak. He's feverish. He remembers a second person in the room when Patty stabbed him, but his brain is so scrambled from the blood loss. And Diane, poor Diane. Okay, I know a lot of you guys hate Diane for faking her death years ago, and trust me, I haven't forgotten that. I haven't forgotten the pain she caused, but right now, she is a victim. She leaned in to hear Jack's whispers, she misunderstood, and she accidentally sent the cops after an innocent person. And now Christine, who has hated Diane since the dawn of time, is using that to try and lock Diane up for obstruction. It is so unfair. It is so incredibly unfair. And that brings us back to Kyle. Kyle is watching his parents suffer. He is watching his family get ripped apart. And he knows Victor is the one holding the strings. So this jailhouse meeting with Patty, it's not just business. It is deeply personal. Kyle is sitting across from the woman who tried to murder his parents, and he has to swallow his bile, swallow his disgust, and make a deal with her. Can you imagine how hard that must be? Can you imagine sitting across from the person who put a lethal syringe in your mother's neck and offering to help them? It takes a certain kind of coldness to do that. A coldness that Carl didn't used to have, but he has it now. Let's talk about Victor for a second. What was he thinking? What was Victor Newman actually thinking when he decided to use Patty Williams? Patty is notoriously unstable. She is a wild card. You can't control her. Victor thought he could just point her at Jack and sit back and watch the fireworks. He paid for her yacht. He paid for her clothes. He set her up in luxury so she would do his dirty work. He paid her to drug Jack, to drug him and assault him. It makes my stomach turn. It really does. And Victor just sits in his big leather chair at Newman Enterprises acting like his hands are clean. He acts like he's untouched by the grime. But his hands are filthy. They are so filthy. And Carl knows this. Billy knows this too. Billy and Carl have been talking, strategizing. They know Victor is a massive target. A target that everyone always misses. But Carl is determined not to miss this time. Not this time, he said. And I believe him. I really believe him. That's why this deal with Patty is so crucial. If Patty talks, she doesn't just give them a rumor. She gives them the financial trail. She gives them the bank accounts, the wire transfers, the secret meetings. She gives them the physical proof that Victor Newman orchestrated a hit on Jack Abbott. But let's look at Patty's psychology here. Patty is sitting in that cell, and she has to be terrified. She acts tough. She acts feral. But underneath it all, she is a broken woman. She wanted Jack to love her. She actually believed, in her twisted, sick mind, that if she killed Jack, they would be together in the afterlife. That is how deep her delusion goes. And now Kyle is sitting there, shattering that delusion. He told her Jack and Diane are happy. He told her she failed. So Patty is left with nothing. Nothing but anger. And Kyle is very smartly redirecting that anger away from Jack and Diane, and pointing it straight at Victor. Victor used you, Patty. Kyle probably told her. Victor doesn't care about you. He threw you to the wolves. And Patty knows it's true. She knows Victor abandoned her the second she got caught. So the desire for revenge has to be burning inside her. But she's also paranoid. She asked for time to think because she doesn't know what Victor will do to her if she squeals. Victor is a dangerous man to cross. Even behind bars, Patty isn't safe from Victor's reach. He could have her silenced. He could have her completely erased. That has to be weighing on her mind. I can't stop thinking about the ripple effects. If Patty takes the deal, what happens to the rest of the canvas? What happens to Nikki? Nikki is already dealing with a massive health crisis. Her vision is failing. She's trying to navigate her house by counting steps. If she finds out Victor funded Patty, it will break her. It will absolutely break her. She might finally leave him for good. And Victoria, she's already furious with Victor. This could be the final nail in the coffin for the Newman family. It's just so much. It's so much drama and I am eating it up. I am eating it up with a spoon. The writers have really outdone themselves this time. Yes, the pacing is a bit clunky in places. Yes, the GCPD is laughably bad at their jobs, but the core character conflicts, the raw emotion, the high-stakes blackmail, it is vintage Young and the Restless. It feels like the golden era of soaps. And what about the fans on social media? Oh my gosh, the timelines are blowing up. Half the fans are cheering for Kyle, saying it's about time and Abbott grew a backbone and fought dirty. The other half are terrified that Kyle is in way over his head and that Victor is going to destroy him. And then there are the people who just want Patty off their screens forever because they are sick of her crazy antics. Let's be real. Patty is exhausting. She is so exhausting. But she is also the key to this whole storyline right now. I just keep thinking about the bigger pattern here. The writers love to put Victor in these impossible situations where it looks like he's finally going to lose, and then he magically pulls a rabbit out of his hat and wins. It's the show's usual style. Victor always wins, but this storyline feels different. It really does. Maybe I'm being naive, but it feels like Victor actually crossed a line this time that he can't walk back from. Funding a known psychopath to drug and kidnap your rival, that's dark. That's really dark, even for Victor. So, I don't know, you guys. I really don't know how this is going to end. Who actually believes this is going to end well for anyone? Kyle is playing with fire. Patty is a loose cannon. Victor is a ruthless monster. It's a recipe for absolute disaster. And I am going to be glued to my screen watching every single second of it. We will just have to see who comes out on top when the dust settles.